Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we get to the heart of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm the Admiral, Pete Mummert.
I'm Jerry Porter.
And we are excited to be joined by Daven Hayes, the general manager, MC, projectionist, probably janitor sometimes, I don't know, of San Francisco's Balboa Theater. Welcome, Daven.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here talking about a movie that I've been obsessing about since I saw it when I was like 7. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You're in good company.
Yeah.
And you're really in the trenches of movies.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean in my daily life, you mean? Or just right now?
Your daily life.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We're
definitely.
thrilled to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get your hands dirty with movies.
And I get threatening letters from Disney all the time. So.
Nice.
You pin them up on the wall?
Sometimes I do. They have at least in the fridge, they have little Mickey Mouse letterheads where he's really happy, but it's always like, if you do this, we're going to screw you, and it's in the theater, and da-da-da-da-da. So.
We're coming for you.
We're coming for you. Yeah, exactly.
Is it the Maharaja? I say, I'm coming for you.
That's pretty good. Did you guys talk about his overdub, by the way? I'm to jump into it. Who did that kid's overdub?
We've made fun of it so much, but we've never actually come out and said that's clearly not his voice, have we?
It's probably June Foray, right?
I wanted to be.
I'm just kidding. That's our Patreon special.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we're here to talk about minute 105, and I don't think the Maharaj is in this one, but that's okay.
He is not.
All right. But this one begins with Molaram yelling to his men, and it ends with Shorty hinting at Indy's crazy plan to Willie.
Right.
Well, we were talking last minute, we had a lot of theories about how Mola Ram got to the other side of the gorge so quickly. And I think my favorite theory we were talking about was he was a twin, he was Mola Ram's twin. But one thing I've been thinking back about is we had a lot of discussions, I don't know, a few weeks ago about Dhalsim from Street Fighter. And he's kind of got the Dhalsim look. And one thing I remember, Dhalsim in later versions of Street Fighter had a teleport move. So it's possible.
Okay.
He was the yoga teleport.
That's absolutely.
Since you brought up the video games, I'm going to go ahead and say that in the video game, Molaram could transport from place to place at a whim in a puff of smoke. So.
That's right.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that wasn't the original script, maybe, and they used it for the game. Who knows?
Do you think the puff of smoke was just like a magician smoke screen and he went down his weird, crazy Joker trapdoor thing?
I mean, from watching the film, that's what I always took that to be.
Okay.
So, yeah. But, I mean, what does he have, trapdoors in every level of his catacombs?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. He's got a lot of kids to make them, so. If you have slave labor, you can put as many trapdoors in anything you want. So.
What's tough, though, is if that's the case, you got to take your hat off all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. Well, that's why he doesn't have it here.
World's biggest hat, too.
Yeah.
It's a big old headdress. So.
Yeah. Oh, at least I was complaining about the long shots of the bridge and how they kind of show you that, before you see the ground in the same shot, you're like, oh, it's impossibly high. It could be thousands and thousands of feet. And then you see this big long shot and it's like, it's maybe 300 feet or something. But we get a different kind of long shot here where you see the entire expanse of the bridge, but you don't see the ground. Right. And I like that one. That makes me happy again.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you the same sense of fear that maybe the poster for Jaws has, where you have a person on the top of something, there's just nothing underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fear of not knowing what's down there is more intense than seeing something. It's like, oh, what's not that?
Right.
If I survive the alligators, I'll be okay.
Did this music remind anybody of anything when the guards are approaching Indy on the bridge?
Oh.
Do you have something in mind?
It sounds almost exactly like the Ewok drums when they're carrying Han and Luke in on the Spits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yub.
Okay, yeah.
Their barbecue music.
I don't know if you guys know this, but it's the same composer. I don't know if anybody told you guys.
Oh, weird. That explains a lot.
Is that weird? Yeah.
That shot you just mentioned, Pete, the guys, they're slowly coming across the bridge towards Indy, And there's a great shot here that I never noticed how great it is. The camera's on the bridge, and you're seeing the thuggy coming towards us, and then the camera pulls back a little bit, and Indy's right there. Like it's like you realize later in the shot that you're seeing through Indy's eyes almost. Like he just sort of like the camera comes back over his shoulder or something, and he's suddenly just there. It's not like a big weird.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't call a lot of attention to itself. It just sort of happens really naturally, and it's very cool.
Yeah.
It's a steady cam they're using on the bridge, which is probably how they could get away with that shot.
Could be.
I know. It's absolutely a steady cam. I was just watching the making of recently.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's the same guy. I think it's the guy who invented the steady cam. He used to be the guy you'd hire all the time, like Kubrick used him on The Shining and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this must have been a pretty early use of it, right? Like, how widespread was it in '84?
Well, let's see. I mean, Shining is what, 80, 81, so it's been around
80.
for a while. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd probably been around for maybe like 8 years at that point, roughly. So yeah, I mean, fairly new. Now it's used all the time. I mean, now everybody uses it for everything. But...
In second 7, Indy puts the Sankara stone man purse back on, and so I'm thinking, so this whole bluff chapter is over.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like his entire strategy here, he's going to have to come up with something else.
Was there ever a moment in his mind where he was really going to drop the stones?
That's what I'm asking. I'm wondering, like, I mean, if he drops them now, it's just like meh.
Yeah.
unless it's a psych, he starts to put him back on and he's like psych, and then just drops him.
And then, or what if he throws one of them and he's like, there goes a week. That's going to take you a week. I'll throw the other one. It'll be another week.
How many weeks do you want here? You want 1 week or 2?
So
I'm pretty sure it was a bluff, by the way.
What's interesting is that the knuckle knife guys apparently sheath their knuckle knives and then draw the scimitars, but the guys on the left keep their knuckle knives out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there can only be one group of knuckle knives at one time, apparently.
Yeah.
I guess. And you wonder, like, I don't know, the scimitars is like, in a way that we talked about this, like as they approach the bridge, they got the knuckle knives, I guess maybe for close hand to hand.
Yeah.
But if you got 4 guys pulling out scimitars and they're all swinging and swiping, there's gonna be a bottleneck.
Yeah.
Right.
Get ugly.
It's just gonna be like a plane propeller, and just gonna like everybody's gonna get cut up. Can we go back and explain knuckle knives though?
Sure.
Just for the audience's sake.
Well, we talked about him like way back at when Indy got captured, I think.
Yeah, they first
they're
first debuted with we conjectured that it may have been the snake alarm. It alerts the knuckle knife security guards.
Wait, is it when he tips his hat to the snake statue? Is that what you mean?
It happens shortly after that.
Yeah.
It's when he first goes in the mine and all these guys appear behind him and they all pull out these things that look like brass knuckles, but it has a dagger kind of attached to them.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know I've complained about this before, but I'm going to do it again because I just saw it again. Why do they keep showing that there's like the barest trickle of water under this bridge when they're also showing you that it's like deep river water infested with alligators or crocodiles?
Yeah, it doesn't line up. You're absolutely right.
But they keep doing it. It's very weird. Like, I don't know. Did you think we weren't going to notice?
It's like a creek.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like my backyard.
Like a Currents and Pancock Creek Bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know why that is? Because they were building a dam just up the street from where they built that bridge. So all the water is dammed up. So I mean,
between shots, they built
I mean, I'm kind of glad it's not like an ILM process shot because that might look a little dodgy as time goes on.
Oh, totally. No, I'm glad it's a real bridge.
Yeah,
that's there.
Or even just like a process shot of like water or something. You'd see like matte lines on the side and stuff.
So we talked about this a few minutes back. I mean, I think that entire thing is the sewage system septic tank.
Okay.
And so when, Mola Ram kind of flushes out the entire Temple of Doom with the big, a gigantic flush on the water tower. And then I think, Tommy, what we're seeing now is sort of the, what do they call it? Like, in the toilet reservoir is filling back up.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Yeah. Yeah. When we first saw the alligators and stuff, that was like right after the premiere of the final episode of MASH. And now it's like a few minutes after that, and everything is calmed down again.
Exactly. It's just,
It is interesting though, Daven. You mentioned the dam, and like if you want to imagine how the shot took place, so the dam is up creek or upriver a little bit, and then you have this bridge that the engineers who built the dam built.
Right.
And between them, there's a third bridge, and I'm not sure if the third bridge was for cars or just for pedestrian traffic, but apparently when they were filming, that bridge was always completely packed with people, like visitors that would come from villages around would come to watch the filming.
Oh, okay.
And at one point, Harrison Ford told Steven Spielberg that he thought that bridge was going to go before this one did, like before Steven Spielberg got a chance to make this one go because it was so mobbed with people.
Hey, at second 15, Indiana Jones says a naughty word.
He does. That's why I love this minute so much, is because this was such a big deal. Like when I was a kid, hearing him say that naughty word was probably more shocking than seeing a guy get his heart pulled out of his chest.
Yeah, he said it once in Raiders, but it was like almost under his breath. Like
you don't even notice it. This one is just like there's a moment, there's a beat, and then he takes a breath and he says it, and you can't miss it. You know?
He almost looks right at you.
Well, can I say something that might make it even better?
Sure.
In the script, it's Willie that says it.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. Really?
Huh. Okay.
She says it in the when they're just about to come out of the mine when that wall of water is coming at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Oh my
I think
God.
they just took that and gave it to Harrison Ford on the bridge.
Harrison Ford's like, no, this is mine.
Yeah.
I've
That's
earned
too
this.
bad. That would have been great if Willie had said it. It'd kind of feel a little bit almost slightly Marianne-esque. Like she's getting dirty. She's not afraid to,
That's why they took it away from her, maybe.
They took a lot of that stuff.
Although that would have given her more of an arc, actually.
Yeah, we've been talking about they took away in these last 10 minutes or so, they took away several scenes where she had a lot more of an arc and she fought off a couple guys and she shows a lot more backbone than she has in other parts of the movie.
Because that would have been interesting. If she had started as the character she is and her arc is becoming more like Marion, like that would have been really interesting, actually.
Well, she has to go somewhere.
Yeah. Well, she wears pants at the end, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, she doesn't really go anywhere. But so I guess Indy punctuates a very bad scenario with a 4-letter word, and he does it, I don't know, once a movie?
I guess so, yeah. Where is it in Last Crusade, though?
I don't know. I don't remember, but it's very strategically placed.
Yeah, for dramatic.
And I feel like, because he does use a naughty word, and because we're doing the podcast, about this movie, I feel at liberty to use that naughty word myself once.
Okay. Just once? Just once?
Once.
Pick
Once.
your moment.
count.
Pick your moment.
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Jerry. What if your mother was listening to this?
This podcast is now PG-13, by the way.
No,
Very
yes.
much.
But I feel like did people say naughty words in 1935? I kind of feel like
Yeah, no, I never think that. Yeah.
Tommy, I'm with you. I feel like they said, "What's the skidoo, brother?" Toadstools.
What's the rumpus?
Yeah. A little fiddlesticks.
Mice and rats.
I'm pretty sure there was a heck of a lot of swearing during the Great Depression on a regular basis for a lot of reasons. Mostly to do with not being able to get bread, feed your children,
Not being able to drink.
not be able to drink, or being busted for drinking. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think the perception of it being a clean mouth time period is because we all grew up watching the movies from it.
Right.
Of course, the code
Sure.
was in place.
The Little Rascals had foul mouths. Larry, Curly, and Moe.
What if Short Round was in the Little Matt Rascals?
Oh, Shorty could totally be in the Little Rascals.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. I'm sure he'd come through with dignity and respect.
Oh, just like buckwheat, and
Yeah. Oh, boy. Let's not think about it.
No, we have enough here with the movie at hand. It's fine.
So when Mola Ram forces Shorty and Willie out on the Ramshackle Bridge, and then he goes out too, like, what is his plan here? Is his plan just for everybody, for Indy and and Shorty and Willie just to get massacred?
Well, I think he's doing it because he sees Indy raise the sword, and this is
Yeah.
his insurance policy.
Yeah, it's like a counter bluff.
But why does he go on the bridge? Why does Mola Ram follow
That's a
him
good
on
question.
there?
Why? Yeah, that's a good question.
He's behind them, right?
Yeah.
Well, so see, I want to know this. Does Mola Ram know? He doesn't know what Indy's thinking or contemplating, does he?
Well, he's seen Indy raise the sword over his head.
Yeah.
Because-
So I think he thinks he's gonna fight back or something.
And actually, you know what? There's a very definite moment where you see it on his face, like, "Oh my God, you're doing this!" And it's after
Right.
he already hits it once. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it seems like it's a surprise to him when he actually, like, "Oh my God, you actually did it!" Like you're actually
No,
doing it.
that's my point. I don't think
Yeah.
he knows what Indy's gonna do here.
Well,
Right,
then he's a
right.
dummy then, because Indy's holding the sword, like aiming it at the. He's balancing it
Yeah,
on the
straight
thing,
up.
the rope,
Yeah.
and then he raises
No,
it
I
right
know.
forward.
Yeah.
I think they're playing a game. I think they're playing games with each other. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't think he thinks he's gonna do it, and I don't think that he thinks Jones thinks that he's gonna risk himself. You know, they're just playing a little bit game of chess.
But again, like every time we get into one of these standoff things, I never understand a minute of it. Because so if Indy is going to chop the bridge,
Yes.
what does he get out of that? He's going to die. Everybody in the scene is going to die if he chops down the bridge.
Well, are you saying what is Indy doing?
Yeah, like in Indy's mind. I mean, if you tell me like he's just desperate, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, okay, I'm going to chop this bridge down. We're all going to die. I can kind of understand that. But
That's what I'm telling you.
What, that he's thinking he's going to die?
Absolutely, and we know that because, and I'm not kidding around. We know that because he says, and that's how we know because when the same thing happens in Raiders when he sees the Nazi submarine, and it's just like, you've got to be kidding me. And
Right.
and I know it doesn't have the tension here. He says it under breath, but you're like, how am I going to get out of this?
Yeah.
Is really what he's thinking. And
Right.
this, it's much more pointed here. And I love that, in minute 105, it's like Indy, he has his back up against the wall, and yet ironically, he's in total control. That's what's
Yeah.
amazing about this minute, because what he is about to do affects everybody. It's like he's gonna flip the Monopoly board, and it's
Yeah,
true.
he is.
His top hat and hotels and Park Place is part of that. It's part of the Monopoly game, but he's also gonna ruin everybody else's B&O Railroad, and you know what I mean?
Right.
It's because it's the only thing he can do, and that's what's actually incredible about this moment.
Yeah, I think he thinks that they're all going to die either way. So
Yes.
why not? Why not on his terms? That's
And
what-
it is on his terms, and there's an outside chance. I mean, he's not giving up just yet, which we see in what he he communicates to Shorty. He what he says. I mean, listen, I'll be honest. We've done this podcast for a long time. There's a lot of things I've learned throughout the all these Temple of Doom episodes, and I don't know what Chao Chi means in Mandarin, but I did discover that Chao Chi Bai means it's actually a Chinese dialect. And when I looked up what he said, that came up. But Chao Chi did not. I don't know. Pete, do you know what he says?
I don't know what he says.
I actually know what he says.
what does he say?
Or at least I have an answer for what he says.
What does he say?
I assumed it was gibberish and that nobody would have an answer, so I went to an I Ching online thing, and I typed in what does Jones say to the boy on the bridge, and the I Ching that came up was, listen to this. This is actually fascinating. Deep waters in the heavens, thunderclouds approaching from the west, but no
Whoa.
rain yet.
Okay.
The superior person nourishes himself and remains of good cheer to condition himself for the moment of truth. Great success if you sincerely keep your course. You may cross to the far shore. That is what he says to Shorty.
if you've ever wondered whether or not we're living in a Philip K. Dick novel, I think Tom just answered it.
Is that a Man in a High Castle quote?
Yeah, I think we're coming right out of Man in a High Castle. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, what is so weird though, and what I think you're having a hard time here, Tommy, and I understand. I
feel
agree.
great.
Sorry.
I mean, I feel like he's telegraphing his intentions to everybody on the bridge, right?
I mean, I don't.
It seems like it.
I mean, we're getting a little bit of ahead, but like we said, he's clearly about to chop the thing, but then everyone acts surprised in a couple minutes. When he starts
Yes,
chopping
that's
the
what's
thing.
strange. And then he literally kind of looks at Shorty and says, you know, Utke the Idgebray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but no one's looking at their legs. They're all looking waist up, so like they don't know what their feet are doing, and that's the whole beauty of the ruse.
And then Shorty says after they've had this you know, I guess this Mandarin minute here, you know, Shorty says, "Hang on, lady, we go for a ride."
Yeah.
Oh my God, I used to quote that when I was a kid. Me and my sister would just say that to each other all
Well,
the time.
is that enough information? And by the way, if it is enough information for Willie to know what's happening, then I mean, look, how is Mola Ram not gonna know?
Right.
What's more information than they gave her with the raft?
Yeah,
That's true.
That's true.
That was nice.
Yeah.
They've bonded since then.
I don't think they give her any information about the raft. I think
No.
they just kind of go, just stand in front of me and over here.
I mean, maybe Mola Ram sees that he knows what he's bluffing, that he's gonna chop the bridge, and then he's freaking out later on when he actually starts chopping it. Maybe that's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I think it's really apparent no one actually thought he would do it. So.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Mola Ram goes out there, and I think I'm assuming he's just going to go out there, and I guess maybe one or two guys are going to get sliced by Indy, and then they're just going to hack Indy to death.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Oh God, wait! I have a proposal. I have a proposal. Can I suggest something? Okay,
Yeah.
I think he possibly, and I just thought of this now, even though I've seen this movie for years. Possibly, he was going to barter Willie and Short Round for the Stones
Maybe. Yeah,
because
it could be.
he's pushing them first. I mean, no, in reality, he's going to kill them, but it's a ruse again too. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, let's talk about this a little bit, and then somebody's maybe stab him in the back. But that would explain why Willie and Short Round are first, and why he's going out too, and it makes a little sense.
It's interesting though because he's almost tender when he tells Willie and Shorty to go out on the bridge, like the way his tone of voice. It's a really strange tone of voice where he tells them to go on, go on.
You mean kind of soft and kind of just
Yeah.
more like caring almost, kind of? Or,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're free. It's cool. Don't worry about
It's
it.
hard to read.
It's the verbal version of his face caress that he does to everybody.
Yeah,
who's
it
ripped
is.
his heart out.
About to die.
It is, yeah. Which leads me again to think that he's a good guy deep down inside.
Okay, I heard this theory. Somebody mentioned to me, and his name is Brett, that you guys did a flip the premise thing where in that Mola Ram is trying to rebel against the British government.
Uh huh.
Is this true? Is this an idea?
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. Actually, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's stealing children to do it, but it also makes a lot of sense.
He's got his own path to follow.
Oh sure, yeah. Hey, so did Mao.
But if the children are an act, like if the children are a ruse, the children are going to be what inflames this incident in the first place. Because Indy and
Are you saying the children are in on this,
I'm saying everybody's in on it, and it's,
okay.
they're just trying to
including the village?
Yeah, definitely the village.
Okay.
And they're just trying to inflame tensions with Indy and Captain Bloombert, so they create an incident, and then hopefully that'll cause a spark that causes a conflagration that sweeps the country.
Right. Well, I guess the revolution wasn't too much further after this, right? Like,
Yeah, maybe 15 years, 14 years.
yeah, I mean, not too much. So.
Mola Ram's not really patient enough to go through this whole political thing. That's why
Right.
he's trying to,
Right.
he's trying to find the other two,
Yeah.
Sankara stones. So it's just, the Hebrew God will fall and the Christian God will be cast down, and then you're done.
Yeah, but you have Cheddar Lau is clearly his political advisor or his political spokesman, which
Yeah.
same actor played the same role for Gandhi, which is funny. I actually have a weird story about a friend of mine who was going to Berkeley had a roommate who was from India. His name is Ankit. He was a great guy. And he said that there was rumor going, or not rumor, just the general rule of thumb in his family and amongst his friends in India was that Steven Spielberg made this movie as revenge for Gandhi winning over E.T. in the 82 Oscars.
Oh my gosh.
And they were convinced this is true. And I went, I mean, maybe, but I also think that the script was written before the Oscars happened, I think. But that was like, they were convinced. Like, it was a big deal.
Tom, you were gunning for Gandhi for winning that too early on in the podcast.
No, I was mad that it beat
your best
Tron
costume.
for best costumes. Yeah,
that's right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Wait a minute. Is somebody? Wait, was Steven Spielberg really upset that? Did you say E.T. didn't win?
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? E.T., which is a lovely, fine movie with Reese's Pieces or whatever.
Oh, God.
But win?
Please don't throw E.T. under the bus.
That was
Come
an
on.
extraordinarily popular film, Jerry. That was.
It was the most.
yeah,
This movie sold out shows for a year.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
To the point where, like, Francois Truffaut at, like, Cannes told Spielberg, "You deserve to be here more than I do right now." Like, that's crazy.
Wow.
It touched the hearts of everyone in the world.
Except for Jerry.
Except for Jerry.
Sorry.
Yeah, actually.
But Gandhi, hey.
Yeah, Gandhi did in real life.
Yeah, touche. Gandhi chased the face of history. E.T. touched everyone's hearts with his...
Without BMX bikes and Reese's.
Oh, no. Yeah, just starving himself to death. That's all he had to do. Yeah, 82. It was a hell of a year. So was 84. God, the year this movie came out was so great.
Yeah.
So many great movies I wasn't supposed to see. It was amazing.
Well, you have I heard you have an interesting story about how you first saw this movie, Daven.
Yeah, it was a traumatic experience for me. Not watching the film, but leading up to it, I had a series of babysitters. It was after school, and on one Friday, I was just waiting for hours and hours for my mom to pick me up because I was going to go see the new Indiana Jones movie that I was so excited about and was losing my hair over as a 7-year-old. And my mom came to pick me up, and the woman whose name was Linda, I don't care if she hears this, she's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing after you pick up the kids?" And she goes, I'm going to take them to see the new Indiana Jones movie. And she goes, "Wait a minute, I'm going to save your soul right now. Do not take these children to go see that movie." I went to go see it earlier. It started off great. It was a rollicking adventure. I thought this was going to be great, and all of a sudden they're pulling hearts out of people's bodies and eating eyeball soup. And I looked behind me at the crowd, and everyone was clearly possessed. And like I had to leave, and my soul was, my mom's like, "Sorry, Daven, we're not going to see Indiana Jones." And but it's cool because my dad was a weekend dad, so I went to go see him on Saturday, and my dad's like, "F this, I'm taking you right now. Let's go, first show."
Nice.
Let's hit that tree of knowledge in the center of the garden.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, I'm taking you drinking afterward. Boom, take that, mom. So, I basically thank the competitiveness of my divorced parents for me seeing Temple of Doom.
It's a nice counterpoint to a story we got earlier this week.
Yeah, it was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
Well, do we have anything else for 105?
Oh, yes. Wait a minute.
Oh.
This just coming in. Something's coming in over the wire.
Are you sure? Oh my God, you're right.
This just in from Professor Christy Porter. "I'm going to blow up the ark, Renee."
There you go.
Okay, you're just saying
Yep.
same bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
pretty
Yeah.
much. He's going to, sort of flip the Monopoly board. We get him doing it. And that's great. We get two, Indy says a naughty word, and then he pulls the "I'm going to blow up the ark, Renee" here in this minute, too. I like it. We get a two for once a movie. One in Raiders, one in Temple.
Yeah.
Is there a bluff scene that's comparable, you think, in Last Crusade? I'm trying to think.
I haven't seen that in 25 years. So I don't know.
I don't think there is, actually.
I don't think there is either. I mean,
I don't remember a bad word, and I don't remember a bluff.
Yeah.
no, I mean, Last Crusade's like a G-rated movie, practically. So.
Aw, don't tell me that.
I'm sorry.
Next thing you know, every preacher is going to take me to it.
I know. The movie every preacher took every child to see, Last Crusade. Well, I mean, it is. It's like, there's almost nothing offensive in it, really. I mean, unless you find Nazis offensive.
Nothing offensive. I feel like that's going to be quite a change from Temple of Doom.
Well, I think it was a direct reaction. I mean, I think there was such a negative reaction to
Yeah.
Temple of Doom. They're like, whoa, we have to go in a completely different direction as far away from this as possible for the next film. So
Yeah.
I need a cute and cuddly dad. I need funny shenanigans with the son and the father. I need, I need the old villain. I need villains that were okay hating, as opposed to just India, So that's I think that we wouldn't have gotten Temple or Last Crusade without Temple of Doom.
That is probably
Yeah,
true.
I think you're right.
Yeah, especially the tone.
For better or for worse. Oh, I had one other quick note. Mola Ram calls Willie Catwoman as he's leading her down the bridge.
What?
Sounds like he
What do
calls
you
her
mean?
Catwoman.
In
Yeah,
Hindi?
it sounds like he says Catwoman when he's pointing the knife at her and they're walking across the bridge.
You just mean phonetically, like it just sounds like he's saying that. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's what came into my ears. He said Catwoman.
Oh yeah, he says get moving. Yeah, it does sound like Catwoman. I have one thing for this minute too. One more thing, and this is
sure.
this is all you, Tom. And I'm a little surprised. This is the scene where he holds up the machete, and it looks absolutely transparent, or like it's made out of crystal.
Oh yeah. And like I don't think there was that image that just that still of him, kind of like leaning on the bridge, and he's got the sword sort of like across his body a little bit, like it's in front of him. And that was like the still, like before you saw the movie. That was like,
Yeah.
It's not, I don't even think it's like actually from the movie. Like there's no moment where he does that, but it's like this kind of moment, just a different pose. But yeah, you see that, you're like, oh my God, it's 1984, and there's gonna be a new Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. This is awesome.
Does anybody know exactly what? I mean, is that just a real machete that's just really, really clean?
You feel bad for the guy he killed for it because that guy took really, really nice care of it.
Hey, he clearly never used it.
Yeah,
He
maybe.
was terrible with it. That's why. Yeah.
Have you guys talked about the video game in this scene?
No.
Have you guys played the stand-up
Sure.
arcade
Yeah.
game? Oh,
Yeah.
The first level, anyway.
yeah. So that's the thing is that like when I was a kid, I played it all the time. Played it like every weekend, and at the Straw Hat Pizza by my house. And before you put the quarter in, you know how they just kind of like the video games just kind of play themselves for a little bit. They would always cut to a scene on the bridge. They would cut to the bridge scene, and it was like this like unattainable goal always to get to this this mythical bridge scene, which I wasn't even aware if it was real or not. I'm like, all the kids at school were like, "There's the bridge scene. My big brother got there. Like you're lying." Da, 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 da. No one actually knew if it existed because no one could get that far in the game, like first level. Roughly about, I think I got to the third level maybe once. And I think the bridge scene, they're actually, I found out because of the miracle of emulation these days, the bridge scene exists. There's actually a level for the bridge. I think it's after the fourth level in the game, I think. But you'd have to spend like $40 in quarters to get to the bridge. So.
I think Josh Horowitz, who's Brett's co-host on 5 Minutes of Trouble.
Yeah, I did Big Trouble with him.
Yeah, and he was saying there's actually a special move you can do on the bridge scene, and you get an alternate ending with Willie.
Oh, really? Do you get blasted by an elephant hose or something?
It's something like that. Like their kiss is different or something if you do something with a joystick right at that minute.
No, it was the whip. It was the whip.
Oh,
They
right,
pull out
it was
the
the
whip,
whip,
and he
yeah.
like pulls her over.
That's
or
right.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It was like a little special Easter egg.
Oh my God, did Josh beat the game? Like, is that how he figured it out? Did he look it
Totally
up or
worth
did he actually?
$40.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, no problem. Not when you're like 8, but you know. That's what being adult's all about. You get to spend $40 on
Exactly.
beating the Temple of Doom
right.
arcade games. So.
Well, if that's it for 105, we want to say thank you, Daven, for joining us. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, anytime. This is a lot of fun. Again, it's a movie that I cherish.
We all do in our own special ways.
Yeah, well, I grew up like this is not the most liked movie as far as the Jones series is concerned. So I grew up like just defending it, adamantly my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting in fights on the schoolyard, defending Temple of Doom. It was rough. Like Last Crusade's better, and you're an idiot.
Well, if people want to attack you online and find you and take you to task for liking Temple of Doom, where can they find you online? Or the theater, the Balboa Theater.
The Balboa Theater, you can go ahead and just, it's the Balboa Theater if you just Google that, or cinemasf.com. CinemaSF that's the official site. Yeah, we play Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, all of these movies at least 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh, that's awesome.
We just got our beer license. We can sell beer now at the theater, and the very first beer movie on Saturdays was Raiders of the Lost Ark. The very second,
Cool.
the very second one was Temple of Doom. So, yeah, it's a good spot for all your indie needs. The Balboa
Excellent.
Theater. So,
And if you're in the Bay Area and you haven't gone to the Balboa Theater, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a beautiful theater.
91 years it's been around.
Nice. That's awesome. And if you want to get all your Indiana Jones Minute needs and information, you can join us at Indiana Jones Minute and the Listener's Crusade on Facebook. That's where the conversation continues even after these episodes stop, which this one's about to. But yeah, join us there, and it's fun. And we're all there waiting for you.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys, for letting me be
oh,
on
totally.
the show.
Absolutely. Thanks
We had a
for
blast.
joining us.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys on the road to Delhi.
All right. And we'll see everybody else back here on Monday for minute 106 of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Toadstools. Fiddlesticks.
Malarkey.
How about that rumpus?